Good morning everyone and welcome to Morning Markets from True Potential. Today I wanted to follow on from where we left off yesterday, thinking about the Bank of England and the MPC meeting that was happening yesterday. Coming out of that meeting we got no change in policy, so interest rates left unchanged at all-time lows of 0.1%, and the ongoing quantitative easing programme where the Bank of England buy government bonds was maintained at the current levels. When we start to dig into it, however, there are a number of subtle changes which are worth noting in terms of the context of economic growth, inflation, and maybe the direction of policy in coming months. So just looking at those in separately, if we look first at GDP, the Bank of England in their outlook statement leave GDP unchanged for this year at 7.25%. They then made a subtle change to the projection for next year, increasing it by 0.25%, taking GDP growth expectations for 2022 to 6%. I think more importantly, just given the backdrop that we've been discussing recently in terms of inflation, they have moved their central projection for inflation closer to 4%. And that moves from the 2.5% that we discussed back in May. So quite a shift there. And it's interesting to note that 4% is much closer to the expectations of the ex-Bank of England chief economist Andy Haldean. At the time, there was much more dovish sentiment that appeared within the bank. They didn't think that Andy Haldean's forecast was maybe correct, but they certainly have shifted more in that direction today. I think the other thing around that is just how they sort of framed the actions that they may take going forward in terms of changing the direction of policy. Not probably increasing rates, but more about the reduction in the bond purchase programme. In the past, the statement has included reference to thinking about their dual target of inflation and full employment within the economy. What we do see in the statement today is a subtle shift in that, with the focus back onto the inflation side of things, and that there may need to be a modest tightening of policy, recognising those changes that are ongoing. So that's certainly something for us to monitor over the next coming months in terms of what we're seeing from the wage inflation side of things in the UK economy and how that may feed into longer or higher inflation expectations. The other point just for today, again focusing in on the US this time, is looking at the employment report there. It's one data point. I've always said that we shouldn't focus in on just a single data point, but I do think this one is important because it will give an indication of the labour market in the US coming ahead of a number of speeches by Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve Board, and certainly there is an expectation in the market about the changes that he may allude to in these upcoming speeches in terms of Fed policy and the potential tightening of that Federal Reserve policy. That has the potential to move markets, it's the potential to increase volatility. So certainly something worth watching, and we'll come back and discuss that on Monday. Many thanks for joining us this week. We look forward to speaking with you next week.
Subscribing to the True Potential YouTube channel is quick and easy. Simply go to the channel on your desktop or through the YouTube app on your phone and click the subscribe button. You can then press the notification bell symbol if you wish to be notified as and when new videos are released. Doing this is a great way to keep yourself updated with market developments and personal finance insights. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and we look forward to continuing to help you do more with your money.